Guess I just need confirmation that we're live. Find out in a minute. There we go. Maybe. Maybe? Maybe. See, maybe we're live. It's like it's one of those. You're just not sure. Nobody really knows for sure, though. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know for sure. That's the thing. You're never really sure about anything. How can you be sure about anything? That's what you need to be thinking about. Life is just full of uncertainties. If you can't tell by now, I'm gonna try to put out video content every day this week so I can figure out this streaming facility service, that program thing I'm using. I want to figure out some kind of streaming format, and I want to just do like one video a week or something. I have a few things I'm working on. I have like a few scripts of like some videos I want to do, but I also want to do some random live streams. I don't know. I have a few things planned for this week for live streams. Like on Monday, we're gonna do something that a lot of speculators do. We're gonna go on Midtown and we're gonna see what's sold out. And I will lambast and make fun of every other person who does that. I mean, that's probably why Ronin Island #1 seems to be getting some interest this week. Has some sales around $7, has some sales around $10, has a lot still available at $3.99. So are those legitimate sales? Who knows? All I know is the book sold out on Midtown and people decided to jump on it. I don't think Midtown is the greatest indicator of books, but we will 100% go through every book that's sold out on Midtown, and I will talk massive shit about people who do that. It will be fantastic. So look forward to that. But one book that was pointed out, because it did sell on Midtown, I should say, is Astro Hustle #1, which does have some sales between $7 and $10. And see, it has its wins and it has its losses. I mean, sometimes a book will sell out there, and yeah, sure, it will have a secondary life. But again, Ronin Island, I don't get it. So there were a few things I wanted to touch on today, because there seemed to be a lot of comic news that came out. And I want to thank Nico, who did a new article on comicbookspeculation.com, and I probably just stole a bunch of this stuff from him, so that's something to think about. But this week, Collider reported that there was a new script for the James Gunn Suicide Squad. Where are we? Here we go. Yeah. Ooh, hello. And there were a few surprise characters, or a few new characters that they announced. I think you just gotta tread carefully on this, because at least one of these characters was announced for the first movie and never showed up. So, is there any legitimacy to these? Hopefully. Definitely some of these books are moving, but it's something to think about. I mean, we have no firm confirmation except Collider saying it. So it's possible. But again, Blue Beetle was supposed to be a TV show or a movie like 6 years ago, and that never happened. So, is it in the works now? I'm not sure, because I've personally lost confidence in that title just based on all the fake news that we've already heard about it. So who knows? But let's go through some of these new characters, if we will. So this one I think is pretty neat, because it's a pretty cheesy character. And I'm pretty into cheesy characters, which, again, I'll get into this week in another video. But Detective Comics 300 features the first appearance of the Pokemon, which is... how is that a character? I guess Poke was a big thing back in the day, when they were selling comics for 12 cents. Today, not so much, but I don't know. It's just... So anyways, Detective Comics 300, and this is a book that was selling for like $40 to $50. Had a lot less sales too, so that's a book that you can probably still find in your local comic book store if other people haven't purchased them yet. Definitely a book to be looking for. This next one, Detective Comics 585, features the first appearance of the Ratcatcher, which I could use at some time. But this book too, heating up. Who is the Ratcatcher? I don't really remember that being that big of a character, and I don't know. And by the way, it's Polka Dot Man, as Mark O pointed out, not Pokemon. Pokemon would be, like, cooler, because he wouldn't have dots all over him, but he'd be playing Poke all the time, too, so I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, so Detective Comics 585, and then Fighting 5 number 4, which is a Charlton Press comic, No, sorry. Let's go back for this one. The Fighting Five issue 40 is the first appearance of the Peacemaker. This is at Charlton Comics Press. So Charlton books are notorious for being printed on very cheap paper, so they're really hard to find in high grade. They're really hard to put together anyways because they have lower print runs. And yeah, that book's going to be one that I would think would probably see the most benefit out of this news. But that's where we're at. And then the final character that was announced to be coming in the movie is King Shark. So again, King Shark was supposed to be inside of Suicide Squad 1. And I noticed a lot of the people who had the scoop from insiders are still putting out scoops from insiders, and the market keeps listening. So I find that to be really outrageous. But whatever, it is what it is. There is a one-page panel in Superboy Zero where it's like a shadow. Probably not a book you want to buy, but I see some people are pushing it. Also, these what are they? Adventures of Superman 500. I was at Bins the other day, and I think I picked up like 15 copies of Adventures of Superman 500. What is it? First appearance of some kid Superman or something. I don't know. All I know is it's the first appearance of Steel, and I also found like 5 platinum variants for $1 a piece. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the comic market, but the fact that people are pushing those books, beautiful days on the secondary market. So yeah, those are the 4 characters that are supposed to appear in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. Will they appear? Is there confirmation of this? Who knows? All we know is Harley Quinn is supposed to appear for a brief second. Deadshot has been recast, and we'll see what else happens with this. Joker's not supposed to be appearing in it. It's not really something I'm looking forward to. But what movies am I looking forward to? Captain Marvel came out this week too, and I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Another thing that has been going on in the market this week is these Sabrina books have been moving. It's not really the books you'd be thinking about. So in December, there was a trailer came out for season 2 of Sabrina. And there were promo clips, and there was a brief snippet, like it's literally 4 seconds, of like some kind of dog-faced animal that one would assume is a werewolf in her face. So this is making people push, or at least run for, and buy up all the copies of the first appearance of Jughead as a werewolf, because Sabrina does happen in the Riverdale universe. I don't know if you knew that. There could potentially be crossovers, and that's what people are pushing for. So people think that the Life of Archie could happen, so these books are seeing some movement, which is great. First appearance of Life of Archie happened in was a variant of a magazine, and then it had its series. So the first appearance is a cover, not unlike the first appearance of Spider-Gwen. That I guess both of those are debatable. But the first appearance of Jughead as a werewolf happened in Jughead the Hunger, the one-shot. And now this book had 3 covers. They were all open order. A cover A, a cover B, and the cover C, which I think might be the one, the cover C. Although the cover B is also a really nice cover. So these books have been selling for about $10. They have been trending up. So we'll see what happens. The season 2 is supposed to premiere next month on Netflix. I believe the entire season comes out in one giant package. And it's really going to help us see where the market's going on that. I mean, I don't know. These books, the trailer came out in December, so it's a little bizarre that the books are starting to see some movement now and see a lot of attention now, but it's happening. I mean, that's the market. All you need is one of these bigger YouTuber guys or these big key collector guys to just point out a book and people start jumping on it. So it's just interesting, and that's where the market is now. Does that mean that we're in a healthy market? I don't particularly think so, but sometimes you just got to use your judgment and buy what you want and not what somebody tells you. But who am I to say that anyways? More news came out this week about that I just don't understand. So this week, We Got You Covered has been reporting that Marvel is planning to do an Avengers X-Men movie. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that at all. So they have an anonymous source that says that it's in play. If you read the full article, I don't personally believe it. I think that this might be more fake news from the globalist comic book market, just pushing out derogatory things to make people jump on stupid books that have nothing going on. Now Marco asks in the chat, what do I think about Blossom 666? Yeah, I don't really think a lot about it, honestly. So I'm not sure. I guess I'd have to look into that a little bit more before I could come up with a proper comment, because that one I'm not sure about. But Avengers vs. X-Men, I get there was a mini series by Marvel. Maybe that would be the books that people are pushing for. I don't know. I just think this might be fake news, and you gotta wait until there's more information coming out about it. It's just not something I see happening anytime soon. And if it did happen, this 6-day-old article would have developed into more articles for more reputable websites, and we'd actually know a lot more about what's happening. So I would go ahead and say there's a hard pass on this. Something to think about, but something definitely not to be buying books about. One book that has been selling a lot that I have actually been able to find a lot of copies for in the wild is this Naomi #1 from DC. I think they're on their 2nd issue. They might be on their 3rd issue. Naomi 1 has second prints out as well. But both of these books, the cover A and cover B, seem to be selling for $10 to $20 online. So there seems to be a market there. Why they're buying these books? It's a first appearance. It's Brian Michael Bendis is writing it. I don't know. But those books are definitely moving as well. And it's just interesting. It's interesting that this brand new DC book would just sell that well for what seems like there isn't a lot of buzz around. I mean, I know some websites are talking about it, but you really don't hear a lot about Naomi. And I have no idea who this character is, except that it's a female lead superhero comic. I'm assuming it's a superhero comic. I mean, it's published by DC. Who knows? But I've been able to find a lot of these books at cover price in my local comic book hotspots, and I think that these are great books to be buying. But in all honesty, that's all I had for this week. I don't know if my audio was good. I don't know if my audio was terrible. I don't know if my phone threw it off. But I think there will be glitches along the way. I think that's just something we're going to learn with. And every day I'm going to come up with something, whether it's just me ranting about some stupid movie. I mean, we could talk about Collateral Damage. I think I could talk about Collateral Damage for like a good hour and a half. Because you just have to think about that. Somehow, Arnold Schwarzenegger agreed to do a movie where his entire family is murdered, and then he's like, yeah, I'll be catfished by the terrorist's wife and son, and I'll bring them into the FBI facility, and I'll let them blow up like some more buildings. It's just crazy. Collateral Damage is just one of those movies where you gotta think about it and go, how was this movie made? Phenomenal film. But you just gotta look at the plot and go like, how? And then I think like Arnold's in Colombia at one point too, with like the drug dealers and terrorists, and they're like, yeah, we got you now. And it's like, I don't know. But then also that scene where he has the baseball bat and he's like, you want collateral damage? I'll show you collateral damage. I don't know. That movie might be just a really underrated Arnold film, which is really all that matters in this world of anything. Things that are underrated. Anyways, that's all I had for today. I thank you for tuning in, and I'm sure as this series goes on, if it goes on, I will continue providing terrible content like this. Thank you.